Morning Liberty.
Well, what is up, all of our liberty-loving friends? This is another fantastic episode of Good Morning Liberty. My name is Nate Thurston. Across from me is Charles Sleepy Thompson. How's it going this morning, Chuck?
A little tired.
Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's not Friday.
White Pill Wednesday?
It's, no. It's White Pill Wednesday for people who enjoy Dumb Bleep of the Week.
Okay.
So it's officially White Pill Wednesday for those people.
Before you leave and explore the fjords.
The fjords, the Nord fjords.
The Nordic fjords.
Yeah.
As your, well, you don't have Viking ancestors probably because you're Asian.
Yeah.
As my Viking ancestors took.
I'm going to go see your ancestors' lands.
Let them know I said hello.
I had thought about just doing a nice white pill before I left. Like, it's, just nice to look at the good things
and
in
then
the
all
world
this
before
dumb
I go.
stuff
And
happened.
then I was like, Dumb Bleep of the Week. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
So just so everyone knows, of course, as we've said several times over the last week or so,
Nate hates liberty.
I'm gone tomorrow and Friday and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's all next week. And got kind of short amount of time today. I got to take the dog to Chattanooga to stay at the mother-in-law's house while we're gone. And so I got a lot of stuff to get done today.
You got tasked with this because your schedule's probably a bit more flexible.
It's a little more flexible,
Your wife has a corporate.
Got a real job, and I sit in a chair in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
She also sits in a chair
In front of a computer.
In front of a computer, but her job is more important. And so we're going straight in, raw dogging Dumb Bleep of the Week right here. And it might feel like I put it together in about an hour. And I'm just saying, hey, I'm leaving on vacation, so just deal with it, all right? If it's your first Dumb Bleep of the Week experience, it's still, we're going to talk about stuff. And it's going to be, before we get into number one, I'm going to warn the Republicans that are listening right now. But I want to talk about this right fast. We're going to make fun of some Republicans, including our president, for 3 or 4 of these dumb bleeps, okay? But the other half, the back half, is going to be making fun of Democrats. And so you want to stick around for the back half. You want to get through this tough part right here and get to the good stuff in the back. Kind of like in the Big Beautiful Bill, where all the cuts and stuff are going to happen in the second half of the bill. And see, if you only stay for the first few, it's going to look really bad. But you got to stay all the way through the bill, and then you'll see that there's good stuff. But it's important to listen, I think, and I think Charlie agrees with me, and probably most of the people in the Fed Haters Club, I think that Republicans are generally more favorable than Democrats. Like, I'm a libertarian, but I generally will align with Republicans on more issues, even though they don't do what they say they're going to do when they're running campaigns. They tend to grow government slower than Democrats do. And so I feel like it buys me more time and things get worse a lot slower than they would if Democrats were in charge.
But they're still focused on the growth of government.
They still are going to grow government.
Yeah.
They just tend to grow it a little bit slower. But I think it's important when you align with someone or you want someone to do a good job, or even if you want them to listen to you, to hold their feet to the fire when you have the opportunity, because you want them to do a better job in the future. And so it's important not to just jump in line with whatever it is that they're doing. You got to let them know when you disagree with things so they can do better, because they can do better. And they can do better. And they're not going to feel the need to do better if everyone just jumps in line behind them. They'll just keep doing the same thing over and over again. And so that's why it's important to hold Republicans' feet to the fire just like you do Democrats. It's just being honest. That's all it is. You want to be honest. You don't want to be like those damn dirty Democrats and lying all the time, You want to be honest. So with all that said, we're going to run through 10 things faster than we've ever ran through 10 things before.
And we've already got a late start.
And I already said that we weren't going to BS, and here it is, 9:23 a.m. and we're getting started. But luckily, we just talked about this yesterday. This one's just called Triple B. This is the Big Beautiful Bill. And here's the idea for Dumb Bleep number 1. We just talked about it yesterday. The deficits are going to go up. They're projecting they're going to go up. All right. But the bad effects of the bill, like fiscally bad effects of the bill as far as the deficit is concerned, are going to happen in the first few years of the bill. And then the good things like spending cuts and stuff like that are supposed to happen in the back half of the bill. That idea right there is dumb bleep number one. You know why it's dumb bleep number one? Because as we all know, nothing ever lasts for 10 years in Congress. You're going to get the bad effects, and then the good effects are going to get pushed off further. That's just the way it's going to go.
We're going to have a new president with a new agenda.
New stuff, new spending.
New budget.
New bills. You're going to get new bills that spend more money that's not accounted for in this budget right here. And so whatever the good things are that they're talking about, or deficit reduction type things that they're talking about, they have scheduled for these things to happen 3 or 4 years down the road, knowing that they're probably not going to happen. They did it knowing that, but because for some reason we want a 10-year projection of what this is going to do, well, they can do that. They can front load all the potential bad effects, and then they can offload the bad stuff to the backside of the bill, and they know that the actual cuts are probably not going to happen. So that's see how fast we can do it, don't bleep?
Yeah.
That idea right there. They know it. They know that it's not going to last for 10 years.
It's the big, beautiful, the one big, beautiful, dumb bill.
I always forget the O.
Yeah.
It's the O triple B. O triple B. And so that bill is number one. All right. Number two, Massie versus Trump, or Trump versus Massie, really. Costco asked earlier, what round of this are we in? I think it's at least 3.
Round 4.
It's round 3 or round 4 right now. I don't remember which one it is.
They've tried to primary him twice. I know that.
They
have not succeeded.
He's had some primary opponents that has not gone well. This one I think is going to be not as easy, because the last time Trump tried to primary him after the whole COVID spending bill thing happened, they only decided to primary him about 2 months before the primary election. They were like, okay, we're going to primary this guy. If they take this seriously this time, that they actually want to primary Massie and they want to spend a whole year doing it, it's going to be a little bit tougher.
I still think he's got
for Massie. He's probably still got it. I did just point out, I posted out on X that I said that I would regret my vote for Trump if Trump started a new war. If he succeeds in knocking Massie out of office, that's another lie. He didn't have to start a new war.
That's a war.
Of course.
That's a war.
Yeah, you're right.
That is war.
That's violating the non-aggression principle if I ever heard of it, you know?
Yeah.
We made a compromise in voting for a Republican that we knew was going to do a lot of things that we were not going to like as libertarians, but we thought it was important. But what would make you regret that vote? Knocking out the most libertarian member of Congress that there is.
Not even libertarian, just the most like pro-liberty.
Yeah, and fiscally responsible. The guy who's actually talking about doing the things that we need to do. And of course, they're mad at him for doing that. And so I'm going to play this hilarious, it starts off being hilarious clip from Trump. And then he talks about Massie afterwards. This happened yesterday.
Say it.
What are you planning to tell the fiscal hawks who want to delay?
I'm a fiscal hawk.
They don't think this cuts not spending.
I'm a bigger fiscal hawk. There's nobody like me as a fiscal hawk.
Okay, so before we even get to the back half.
He is big. I mean, he's bigger.
He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a pretty tall dude. He's a fiscal hawk. There's nobody.
The reporters are asking him, what do you say about the fiscal hawks, who don't like this big, beautiful bill, basically?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm a fiscal. What do you mean?
What? All those guys want to do
They're
is
small.
They just want to reduce government spending.
Yeah.
Okay. But they don't fiscal hawk like I do. You
Right.
see, I fiscal hawk by continuing to increase government spending and grow the deficits and make the biggest government that's ever existed in the history of all mankind.
And then he explains why,
Yeah.
which has some partial truth to it, I actually think. So finish the video here.
Yeah.
It has more deficit than Biden did, and this bill kind of...
Because we have to fix the country.
Do you think that Thomas Massey is correct in saying that this is adding Biden level
No, I don't
spending?
think Thomas Massey understands government. I think he's a grandstander, frankly. He'll probably vote. We don't even talk to him much. I think he should be voted out of office. And I just don't think he understands government. If you ask him a couple of questions, he never gives you an answer. He just says, I'm a no. He thinks he's going to get publicity. And you have that. You have that. They've got some too. Go ahead.
He said that there. He said, I don't think Thomas Massey understands government. And what I mean by there's a little truth to that in the essence of Thomas Massey doesn't play the game.
Yeah.
He just sticks to the truth.
Yeah.
And that's what this whole he doesn't understand government means. And Trump's excuse for raising the deficit higher than Biden in the first couple of years is like, well, we got to fix the country.
Got to fix it.
Yeah. And they left me a mess.
Yeah.
I was on the right track. They destroyed it in 4 years. And so now I've got to spend your hard-earned money to fix the fact that they were spending your hard-earned money.
It just the most annoying thing about this bill is like I know we're cutting a little spending, but just it is an optional, decision.
We're not cutting any spending, Nate. They're
made.
just moving
They're
categories.
just shifting things around. It's an optional decision to decide that we need to bump our military budget up to $1 trillion. Like that's a thing that did not need to happen. He knows it didn't need to happen because a couple months ago he was saying that we should cut it by 50%. And then a couple months later, he's bumping it up to $1 trillion and bragging about it in front of Benjamin Netanyahu. When he says that Massie doesn't understand government, what he means by government is that this is the game. Things are not actually going to change. It's just not possible. All the money that we got to send out to all the right people to grease the wheels of this massive, corrupt bureaucracy, biggest government apparatus that there's ever been in the history of the world. He just doesn't get it. We just have to do that. And I think Massie does understand that. He's just talking about what should actually be done. And it's one thing to disagree with someone, but to go after someone that is right. Like he knows that Thomas Massey is right. Mike Johnson knows that Thomas Massey is right. And so it's one thing to say, well, I disagree, sometimes you have to vote for stuff that you just don't agree with. Sometimes we have to make compromises on these bills or they're just not going to pass. And, Thomas Massey is welcome to have his opinion on the matter. And we still got the votes elsewhere, so that's fine. That's one thing. But to decide that you need to primary someone to try to get someone out of office because they're doing what is right and what all the Republicans that are against Thomas Massey know is right too. I mean, all the people that are commenting like on our page today.
Congressman Massey is actually the only one following through on what all of them have campaigned on.
Yeah. Yeah. They know that,
Yeah.
So that's a whole other
all right,
thing.
number 2.
And that was number 2. Okay. Oh, I did bring this in as, he's a fiscal hawk, and it does show, of course, as we know, we had massive deficits, massive growth in government spending while Trump was in office, and that happened before COVID. And then we got COVID, and we got the most money that's ever been spent ever on something ever in the history of the world. And so that there's no evidence to point out the fact that Donald Trump is a fiscal hawk. That's not. He's not. That's just not. Okay.
Never has been.
Number 3, something else we already talked about. We'll do this real quick too. This is pointing out the fact that when you look at the distributional effects of the big, beautiful bill, you'll see that.
There's dumb on both sides is what you're trying to say here.
There are. Yeah.
Yeah.
On both. It's been probably like if you follow our page and our comments, you're like, well, what does this guy believe? He's over here making, talking crap about Republicans with this bill. Then he's going after people on the left who are talking about this bill. Like, what are these people that are playing both sides of the fence? No, 2 things can be true at the same time. This bill is stupid, but also letting people keep some of their own money is not robbing from the people who were taking the money from those other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 things can be true at the same time. That's what it's like to have principles, just one steady, consistent principle all the time. Distributional effects.
The path is narrow.
Yes.
The path to Jesus, the path to liberty.
It's very narrow.
Both of those are narrow.
So as you've probably heard by now, they're showing that so the people at the bottom in the bottom quintile might actually lose some income after this bill, and that is because potentially, if it actually happens, some transfer payments might go down. Potentially, if it happens, some transfer payments might go down. Okay, and so you're
robbers the current robbers are going to get less theft,
Yes.
which means you're robbing the robbers.
You're robbing them.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This person says the big beautiful bill is designed to be the largest upward transfer of wealth in American history, and you gotta think real hard to be that dumb. Okay.
I know it seems antithetical,
Yeah.
to being dumb.
It
but
takes a lot of effort to say something that stupid. It really does. The transfer of wealth is happening from the people at the top down to the people at the bottom. That is the literal transfer of wealth that is happening. They are talking about doing that just a little bit less. And by a little bit, I mean like a little bit less. Small.
Like
a very
barely
small,
any.
like you won't even see it in the numbers. They're going to do it that much less. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're calling that an upward transfer. Transferring less from the up is an upward transfer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes total sense.
Number 4, let's not forget to make fun of Trump again. Go ahead, Charlie, with
All right.
this is the Walmart tariff thing.
Mhm. Trump truths out last week, I believe. Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected. Between Walmart and China, they should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge valued customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. And of course, this reads as if Bernie Sanders himself tweeted this out.
Yeah.
And so in this point, Trump's not principled whatsoever. We've talked about this a lot, but basically they're saying that that Walmart and China and anyone else, they should just eat the extra tax. Don't pass it on to your consumers because they've tried to convince the American people that the companies are going to pay for it. It's not you.
Well, they tried to convince them that China was going to pay for it in the first place. And we're in a dangerous situation here where people might find out that this is a literal tax that is charged to American companies.
that then pass it on because they don't pay taxes.
Yeah. Now, they could have China eat it by those American companies saying, like, yeah, we're not going to pay that, so it's up to you to reduce your prices. And that is going to happen, even if there's a 30% tax charge to China or whatever. Without Trump saying this, Walmart was going to do every single thing they possibly could to raise their prices the least amount that they possibly can and still make their 2 to 3% profit margin that they make. Because why? Well, because it's better for them. Honestly, this could end up helping them, the tariffs, because their competitors are not going to be able to eat the tariffs like they're going to be able to eat those tariffs. And they're
going to be able to eat some of it.
Yeah, they'll be able to eat some. Like, you're not going to get 30% increase. You might get like 6 or 7% increase or something after they make new deals with some of the Chinese manufacturers and
Suppliers.
Walmart does, suppliers, vendors, things like that. But Trump coming out after raising taxes on these companies and saying, yeah, you guys just got to make less money. The worst part about this is I hate it when people use this billions of dollars. No, the billions of dollars doesn't matter. What matters is the percentage that you are making on the sale of your goods. Like, billions sounds like a lot, so therefore they should be able to eat the tariffs. But it doesn't matter if you're making 2 or 3% off of your billions of dollars that you're taking in. Yeah, it's basic math, Bernie. All right, all right. As
Bernie Trump.
I think we're making pretty good time right
All
now.
right, let's
We're
go.
moving through pretty
Number
quickly.
5. This is number 5.
All right, we have to make fun of Republican one more time, and then one more time later on, and then we'll be done. We're gonna make fun of some Democrats. Don't worry, okay? This Joey Manorino. This is one of those like defiant L's type things. This crazy hypocrisy here. This is from September of 2024, before the election. Okay, this is a MAGA guy. He says, there is no Supreme Court with Kamala Harris in the equation. She'll essentially get rid of it. Biden, for his many flaws, at least believes somewhat in institutions and didn't want to go that far. Kamala doesn't give a damn and will obliterate the Supreme Court happily. That's in September of 2024. What do you think is next?
A new tweet.
From May 16th, 2025. Ignore the Supreme Court and all courts in this country, President Trump. You will never be able to make America great again while listening to the courts. Come what may, fight this battle.
Respect the institutions. Don't respect them. By the way, I probably agree more with his
With
later
the second
tweet.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the second one.
It's the hypocrisy that is the dumb.
Yeah. That is true.
So why do you agree more with the second one?
Well, because we have co-equal branches of government.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, the way it works is that if the Supreme Court ruled something unconstitutional and the executive branch continued to practice that, then it's up to the legislative branch to impeach the president for, violating the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
It's co-equal branches. Courts issue opinions. They don't issue law.
Yeah, and
It's an opinion.
At the end of the day, the founders said several times that it's the people that are supposed to be the ultimate arbiters of this situation. Like, if it were set in stone that when the Supreme Court issues a ruling that you have to follow it as if it's a new law, they probably just would have put that in the Constitution when they're talking about the Supreme Court. Like, Supreme Court rules on something, it's a new law. That's article whatever dot this thing, and they would have just put that in there. But they didn't. And they said several times that they are co-equal branches of government, and that at the end of the day, you don't want courts running everything either. You don't want courts making laws. You don't want courts becoming oligarchs. It is supposed to be the people who end up deciding. Now, I don't think they imagined how dumb the people were going to get, but that is what they said.
Yeah.
All right. But it is the hypocrisy of this post that is dumb bleep number 5. That one came from the Fed Haters Club. Thanks for sending that over. How about number 6? We had some tornadoes come through a few days ago.
We did.
That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
F4 went like a mile south of my mom's house.
Almost 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's
there.
crazy stuff.
Close to an F5. There were some houses just completely removed off the slabs.
Yikes.
And some of the slabs were moved a bit.
I don't like it. Let me just keep the sound down. Ah! All right. So as you can see, right there, there's tornado damage happening right here, and that's not good. I don't like that. And you see a roof getting blown off of this house. And as anyone would see that and think, wow, that is scary and that is awful, and I hope there's no people in there.
I mean, you've seen the Big Bad Wolf. That's built with straw, clearly.
It really is just like...
Although I also feel like that roof is like just made for a tornado to lift it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the way it's
I feel
designed.
like someone probably pulled a release inside of that thing or something like that, like taking the top off. That's really what it looked like. But what actually happened here in St. Louis, and I don't know if you caught this, we probably talked about it on White Pill Wednesday. They had completely deregulated their housing market and made it to the point that you could just build any essentially. Libertarians have taken over St. Louis and the surrounding area, and they've just deregulated all the zoning, all the building codes. Everything's just gone because Emma Vigilant says, surely the answer is more deregulation. Now, when you say the answer is more deregulation, you are implying that deregulation actually came in and caused this building to fall apart. When I would make the argument that all throughout time buildings have been getting destroyed by tornadoes, and it's actually pretty tough to build all of your buildings across the entire country in a way that they would withstand a 200-mile-an-hour sustained wind that just pops up out of nowhere. And that sometimes bad things happen, and if you wanted to, you could pay more for a place that is built to sustain that, and it would cost you double the amount of money or whatever. But the idea that somehow deregulation caused this problem, well, that's our very, very quick dumb bleep number 6 right there.
That's deregulation's fault for sure.
As we said, we're going to pop through these things super quick. I got to get to Chattanooga, then I got to get to London, then I got to get to Norway. So it's a busy day.
It is.
Okay, misgendering is now a crime in Colorado.
We're still doing this?
Still doing it. The year of our Lord 2025 still happening.
I thought this was all over.
Governor Jared Polis, who I had been told was the most libertarian governor in the U.S., I think Josh Eckel said that. Governor Jared Polis signed HB 1312 into law Friday. It defines dead naming and misgendering as discriminatory acts which are prohibited in places of public accommodation. Let's see. Mainstream media framed it as discrimination protections for trans people.
This is just retarded. I'm going to tell you that much.
Yeah, that chick should not have signed that at all. That was very stupid. And yes, the group is correct. Very gay. Colorado law now explicitly protects transgender people from being dead named or misgendered in certain places under legislation. Schools are one of the main places, and also they're required by law to call the kid whatever name the kid decides they want to be called.
Oh, that's what we should be doing.
Yeah. Passed as how it reminds me of Big Daddy. What does the kid randomly decide his name is? Anyone here in the group remember what the kid decides his name is in Big Daddy? Passed House 1312. New law is formally named after Kelly Loving, a transgender woman who died in 2022 mass shooting. The law expands the state's anti-discrimination laws, which apply to settings like workplaces and schools, to include provisions related to using a person's chosen name and referring to them how they wish. So you can't misgender, can't dead name. Now, how do you prove that in the court of law? Like that, I'm a she, I'm a she, they, and that guy over there called me he the other day, and so I want him put in prison or fined. Like, how are you going to prove that kind of thing?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Like, imagine like you slip up.
Get it on tape.
Yeah. Imagine you slip up and you call this she, they, a dude, and then all of a sudden you're in hot water with the law afterwards. It's ridiculous.
Is this England? Is this the UK?
I don't know what's going on.
What's happening? It actually just makes me want to go to Colorado.
Yeah.
And say stuff.
Just misgender everyone. Every single person you see.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's what we should do. That is how we fight tyranny. By doing that kind of thing. And so then we
also, I don't think it would ever hold up. I mean, there's no way that this type of thing holds up.
Colorado's they just keep doing. They're the ones.
They
that
must
had
be high over there.
Isn't Colorado the one that had the gay cake baker?
Yeah.
Only the not gay cake baker gay cake, and then they had the gay website maker. What's going on in Colorado over there?
They're high, man. That's what it is. They're smoking too much over there. Eating too many gummies.
All right, it makes sense.
It does.
Speaking of, we got a new gummy sponsor coming on board. Supposed to be next week. I got to tell them we're not here next week. And awkwardly, those got sent to my house for personal experience. And so I'm going to bring them over here so you can try them out. Let everyone know how they are. They look great.
Yeah.
They look great. Very high quality stuff.
I'll give them to Brittany.
Yeah. There you go.
Then I'll relay the experience.
Okay. Number 8 is the Biden situation in a couple different ways here. There's one example that came in from the live group. This is a nice side-by-side of a New York Times opinion piece written by the same person. Or a year apart. You always got to pay attention because a lot of times, there's different writers. So when you're like, oh, look at this New York Times headline and then look at this headline. Well, they're written by different people. Okay. Yeah. So you got to be careful. This one's written by the same person.
Same AI bot.
Yeah.
Michelle Goldberg.
In February 2024, Michelle said Biden's age is a campaign problem, not a governing one.
I'm sure in that article he's got sharp mental acuity.
He's sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
He's cogent. It's one of my favorite things to say about Biden.
And, anything contradicting that is just a deep fake.
Yeah, it's not that he's having a problem governing. It's just that it's the people who are perceiving this as a problem, creating an issue for the campaign. It's not that there is actually a group of 4 or 5 people that are actually presidenting by committee throughout Biden's term, which is essentially what was happening, which is some of the new details that just came out in that book since the book actually came out. Yeah. But there's like 4 people who were actually running everything, not Biden.
And that's democracy, by the way.
Oh, yeah. And you know it was happening because of how hard they jumped on, this is a projection, how hard they jumped on Elon Musk and the unelected bureaucrats running our government as soon as Trump came in. They were so upset about these unelected people running the U.S. government because unelected people had been running the U.S. government for the last 4 years, and they hadn't been caught for it yet. And so they had to be the people that projected to everyone that they cared about this. So when it came back on them, you're less likely to think it was the case.
It should be criminal.
It
should be criminal. These people should go to jail for this.
Probably something criminal that happened. We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, last week.
Back to Michelle.
Yeah, back to Michelle. She's dumb. She said Biden's age is a campaign problem, not a governing one. Last week, she said, how did so many elected Democrats miss Biden's infirmity?
No, I let me give the benefit of the doubt real quick. I think there are some people, some decent people, who probably feel like they were lied to.
Yeah.
That they kind of just went along with whatever the White House was telling them, and then they probably were just like, oh yeah, well, there are these questionable things, but I asked some people I trust, and they said everything's fine.
Yeah.
Why would I distrust them? And I think that may have happened. I'm not saying that's the case of Michelle. I'm just that thought came to me that there could be the benefit of the doubt for some
people.
folks.
I heard some of Jake Tapper's interview with Megyn Kelly, and I'll tell you what, after hearing some clips from it, I sort of started to believe that guy's just an idiot. Yeah. Like he almost made me believe that he actually believed everything was okay. Did you know he called Laura Trump and apologized to her for that whole stuttering thing?
Did he really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, he's
that in the
he's
book?
doing a good job humbling himself right now, is what I'm saying. And he could actually just be retarded. Yeah. There is a chance that things like that can happen.
Yeah. Do Democrats have a lower IQ? I mean, is that a thing?
I'm not sure. One more thing here. By the way, they're still doing the same thing. This is how you know things have not changed. They're not actually sorry. They're not actually accepting that this was a problem, because now that this Biden cancer diagnosis is coming out, people on the left are jumping on MAGA for turning to conspiracy theories about what if Biden knew about this cancer beforehand and they hid it from the American people. And so now they're jumping on this idea that this is a MAGA conspiracy that we're just making up. And of course, Joe Biden just found out last week that he has stage 4 prostate cancer.
Yeah.
What are you talking? There was no indication beforehand. He goes to the doctor. He finds out he has stage 4 prostate cancer. And now he's letting people know as soon as he possibly can, which was a day and a half before this book was released. And 2 days after the audio of her testimony came out. And it's all pure happenstance. You can't help it. Can't really help it. All right, we're going to skip over the other video I have for this and move on to, real quick, Hillary Clinton. We won't have a lot of time to talk about it, but Charlie, I think you saved this one for Dome, right? The Hillary Clinton handmaid thing? Okay.
I think I did.
Here's number 9.
What advice do you have for the first female president of the United States?
Well, first of all, don't be a handmaiden to the patriarchy, which kind of eliminates every woman on the other side of the aisle, except for very few. Lisa Murkowski.
Liz Cheney.
Yeah, there's a few. Look, first we have to get there, and it is, obviously so much harder than it should be. If a woman runs who I think would be a good president, as I thought Kamala Harris would be, and as I knew I would be, I will support that woman.
There are so many dumbs nestled inside of this. Like, what was that? 48 seconds?
53 seconds.
53 seconds.
We could have stopped it 5 times probably and done a 20-minute segment on this.
My favorite thing is like talking about, of course they call out don't be a handmaiden to the patriarchy, which obviously is just ridiculous.
Number one question is, does that mean?
Yeah.
Can we define that? Can you use that in a sentence that makes sense?
Well, of course, Nate, we know that these are the MAGA chicks that are aiding and abetting Handmaid's Tale
the
coming to
destruction
real
of
life.
Women's rights.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what
so
they're doing.
Handmaidens
And
to the patriarchy.
It's like half the women.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like Yeah.
They're the ones that are okay with being tied down to a bed and forced into conceiving children by rape.
Yeah. That sounds exactly like
that's what it is. But second of all, then they mention, well, there's a few good ones, and liking themselves to Liz Cheney
definitely
as
Liz
one
Cheney,
of them.
Kamala Harris.
Well, I'm saying on the right.
On the right.
On
Sorry,
the right.
yeah.
As if Liz Cheney is the beacon of feminine governmental power that you should strive for. She's no different than Hillary Clinton. They're the same people.
Yeah.
They're the exact same people. And so it's just a lot of dumb, and it's a fun one.
Yeah.
It's been a while since Hillary Clinton has been a part of Dumb Bleep of the Week.
Well, we've got, if we have more than
Lisa Murkowski, I mean, I won't say exactly what Costco said there in the Fed Haters Club, but if you want to find out what he said, go to godhatesfeds.com or join gmail.com, be part of the Fed Haters Club.
Rhymes with grunt. All right, we've got one
See you
more
next
here.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
when you get back from vacation.
Yeah, we've got one more here. We'd talk more about Hillary Clinton if we had more than 5 minutes left, and we didn't need to showcase whatever the hell just happened here in the Senate hearing in relation to habeas corpus. Have you seen this?
No.
No?
I mean, I think I saw part of it.
Christy Noam's going to give the definition of what habeas corpus is.
Which isn't the definition.
It's going to be really good. It's going to be a really good definition. So here we go.
So, Secretary Noam, what is habeas corpus?
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to.
Let me stop you, ma'am. Habeas
right
corpus. Excuse me. That's incorrect.
President
habeas
Lincoln
corpus,
used it.
Excuse me. Habeas corpus is the legal principle.
Wait, hold on.
Well, habeas corpus.
If habeas corpus is the right that the president has to remove people from the country, then why would we need to suspend it?
Yes.
What are we talking about here? Hold on, let me hear that one more time.
Well, habeas corpus is a constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their right to.
Let me stop you, ma'am. Habeas corpus. Excuse me. That's incorrect.
President
habeas
Lincoln
corpus,
used it.
Excuse me. Habeas corpus is the legal principle that requires that the government provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning.
I declare habeas corpus, and then you get to start removing people.
And then you just round people up. Yeah. It just kind of shows that a lot of government is just a popularity contest.
Oh, God.
I mean, there's one reason that Noam was the governor. Well, I mean, maybe a couple of reasons, but one particular reason.
She was one of the better governors.
She was.
You know, still did some stupid stuff, but she was one of the better governors.
But she wasn't voted on because of her smarts.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
That is just patriarchy right there, Charlie. That's all you're doing.
That is being a handmaiden.
Yeah.
You know?
She was voted in because she's being a handmaiden to the patriarchy.
Amen.
That's what we're saying.
That's what it is. It all lines up.
And, oh, yeah. Dang it, Jake. Yeah, all government is a popularity contest. That is true.
Yes.
That is that's actually literally true. So you do have to win a popular vote over other people. Okay, this is not true. And I'll tell you, aside from the dumb and her just embarrassing herself, there's actually something super disgusting and twisted. That habeas corpus is like a right that you naturally have as a human being, that our government recognizes, okay? But instead, in her mind, it is automatically habeas corpus is a right that the government has to decide to detain you and remove you from our country. It immediately flips it on its head, and habeas corpus becomes this government right. It's not. What we have are natural rights, human rights that our government has decided to recognize and protect. That is the way our government is set up. And so she is talking about this in a completely inverse way, where the rights that you have are the rights that the government has decided that you have and that they have created for you to have and that they can decide to take away at any time. So it's not just embarrassing, it's also super dangerous at the same time.
That's not in the Constitution, by the way. It's a Latin term, as most legal things.
I thought it was actually mentioned in the Constitution.
Habeas corpus?
Is it not? I thought it was. I'll be wrong on that.
I'm willing to be wrong too.
I
don't think it is actually mentioned. It might be mentioned in the Declaration, but I don't think it's mentioned in the Constitution. It it literally translates to you should have the body, and a writ of habeas corpus basically says that whenever law enforcement wants to do something, they have to bring it to a judge.
Article 1, Section 9, Clause 2. The privilege of the writ of habeas corpus shall not be suspended unless when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it.
Oh, so it is in the Constitution. I was wrong.
I only knew that because I saw someone say it like 2 days ago.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get the votes in, everyone. Do we have time to get votes in?
Yeah,
We got
hurry
a
up.
call coming up here. Let's get these
Get the
here.
votes in.
Let's get these here votes in. We've got number 1, Triple B. O Triple B. Number 2, Trump versus Massie, round 3 or 4. We're not sure which one it actually is right now. Number 3, robbing the poor. That's when you give them less of other people's money. Number 4, Trump, Walmart, tariffs. Number 5, Joey on the SCOTUS. Number 6, tornado deregulation. Number 7, misgendering. Number 8, the Biden situation. Number 9, Clinton and the patriarchy, handmaiden to the patriarchy. Number 10, habeas corpus. Let's get those votes in, everyone. While I give you like 10 more seconds to get your votes in, I'm going to say, hey, I'm excited to go across the world for a bit. Everyone, across the pond. Yeah, finally. Going to go across the pond. And if I shall perish, I want Charlie to continue at least doing Dumb Bleep of the Week every week. It's honestly, it's a pillar of American society at this point.
It
okay.
is.
It's an institution that must be continued on. This is not just about
we gotta go.
me being here. Okay. We got to go.
We gotta go.
The winner is Trump versus Massie. We actually have to go. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I will see you later. Love you. Bye.